I don't know if you guys are aware, but David Jaffe, this individual on the left, he's the creator of God of War. And this thing over here that looks like the Joker from Batman the Animated Series is Alyssa Mercante, who's also known as the former Kotaku senior editor and also just recently got the distinction of being the world's worst gaming journalist as voted by the fans of the Real Game Awards. Two peas in a pod here. And normally this is just enough to be like, wow, this is cringe all around. But ReviewTechUSA, everybody's favorite fat bald chicken fucker, came onto here and is pandering not just to David Jaffe, but also Alyssa Mercante, which shows you how the mighty have fallen. Now, he went on a weird little tangent about Smash JT to where it even went over to his new podcast that he has with JKB, the low-cow tech podcast that is somehow now turned into a woke podcast because he has weird parasocial docket members that are like offended when anybody dare says anything about trans people. Imagine being upset about people having a opinion about trans people in 2025, you weak snowflakes. Anyways, he comes on here to pander to Alyssa Mercante, and this is the saddest display I've ever seen. He comes on crying about Smash JT. He throws a pot shot at me. He throws some pot shots at Stuttering Craig and side scrollers. This guy's just a big time SJW little woke crybaby, and he doesn't understand. The majority of people see him as a clown. They don't agree with anything that he says. He's losing subscribers by the day. He probably will be under 62,000 subscribers by the end of this month or sometime within that. He's a joke. He's failed. And he doesn't realize that he's just being milked by everybody for content, including Keemstar. So let's go ahead and continue this whole thing by reacting to this. So here's Jaffe. Here's Mercante. ReviewTechUSA is about to be popping in.
Chicken fucking motherfucker.
Look at this.
What's up, pal?
Literally laughing in his face. Rich, people aren't laughing with you. They're laughing at you. And your black dyed goatee that you were forced to do your little punishment, you have no room to laugh at anybody ever again after Lauren shaved your chest on stream. You literally looked like a joke. And speaking of your podcast, before we get into this, I tried to give Local Tech Talk a chance, but he just had zero energy on it, no charisma. He was more focused on a docket about petty drama against Smash JT, talking about David Jaffe's kids being trans. Guess what? If you have trans kids, you fucked up as a parent, because there's no such thing as trans kids. That's literally grooming and mental illness there, and you can clip that all you want. Okay, leave the kids out of the whole situation. He was trying to have a whole docket about him making a video about David Jaffe that Smash has gotten unlisted or members only, whatever. It's not public. And he was like a big gotcha because, again, he has parasocial docket team members that are like, you can't dare say anything against the LGBTQ. What do you expect? What do you expect when Smash makes content calling out anti-woke ideologies? Of course he's going to say that. And I'm not afraid to say it. This guy, David Jaffe's a fucking lunatic. And they're going to have him on their show next week on Friday. And they're all like, oh, we're not getting political. Well, you're picking one of the most polarizing political people that have the worst takes to put on your show. And Rich, if you want people to support your podcast or your show itself, you went on with two of the worst people, in my humble opinion, to associate with. Literally, look at all the stuff that people have said about Alyssa, and then look at all the stuff that people have said about David Jaffe. This is literally a nightmare blunt rotation, like I said right here. But yeah, he fumbled and stumbled through a docket the other day about Smash JT. His audience was literally begging him, please, no more drama. Let's talk tech on this tech podcast. But of course, Rich and his docket team quickly tried to just turn a tech podcast into a let's cry about anti-woke grifters podcast, and it immensely failed. Doesn't he know that Keem and Local Live all like supported Trump? Like Keem is super anti-woke, and you're turning something into a joke, and people are quickly going to tune out of Tech Talk. The only saving grace was that JKB was there making fun of you, throwing jabs at you, and essentially admitting that your little docket about Smash JT sucked, because it did. You had no effort, and you're going to see he's going to be draining with zero charisma here in a minute. And look, again, this is the happiest I've seen Alyssa Mercante forever. Literally laughing at Rich.
What's going on, man?
Holy shit, what's up?
I actually shout out to my docket team for letting me know that you had Alyssa on. Alyssa, how are you? It's a pleasure to actually talk to you.
And his docket team let him know Alyssa's on because, again, they're SJWs. Honestly, the only people that got mad at me saying that I would rather have a kid dealing with cancer than be transgender is because all of ReviewTechUSA's little dents are a whole bunch of woke crybabies.
So funny to hear your voice. Hi.
Yeah, we are. It's interesting that you're on this tonight because we're going to be talking about one of your favorite people. My docket team put together.
They're all They all have Smash JT living rent free in their head. By the way,
Together a nice big trail of receipts of his hypocrisy.
Okay, but just be clear, we can't get into the lawsuit. You know that.
No.
Right?
they can't get in the lawsuit because it's gonna fail anyway. They all know the lawsuit's a joke. Okay, but he has this whole expose. Oh, he's a hypocrite and blah, blah, blah. Like, people can't change their opinion. This is coming from a guy that said he would never work with Keemstar, right? That he would never be cool with JKB again. And now he's literally shaving his chest on Keemstar's podcast. And Keemstar's his boss now, all right? This is literally a guy that just backing the end of October was exposed for being a weirdo with all sorts of females, right? Allegedly, by Locale, not me. I don't have the receipts. I didn't do any of that. But Locale Live literally milked him nonstop in October, November. They did the whole thing with Becky, and he was just melting down. And now he basically recreated his old channel that he deleted. But instead of him being his own boss and making the money, Keem is in charge of him. So the mighty have fallen, and now he's on a podcast with Jaffe and Mercante.
We can't, but you can say whatever you want. I can smile with my beautiful teeth.
Okay, fair
enough. Beautiful. Okay, I was. That's why I was being vague. But all right, Smash JT, you don't have to say anything. It's interesting because I have a slightly storied history with him before he.
A slightly storied history with him. It's so weird how rent-free Smash has been living in his head. And I have my theories, most notably because he has a friend that is still obsessed with Smash JT, being critical about them a few years back and calling them out. And, of course, he's the simp, not just for Mercante, but every single female friend that he's parasocial with. But let's continue.
Went and started doing the right-wing cocksucking thing. And he's always,
and of course, it's always, they're right-wing cocksuckers, because this man right here, even though he did stalk a trans woman in a mall at one point, recording them without them knowing, he is soft as baby food and baby shit combined. He can't take anybody even remotely not thinking the same way that he does. He tries to throw all these fits about people that lean right when he doesn't realize that a huge reason why a lot of his audience is leaving his stream channel and even his ReviewTechUSA channel before he deleted it. A lot of them completely think the opposite of what this guy does. Again, he probably just has like his mods and his biggest dents that believe in the bullshit and his docket team that he does. Other than that, nobody gets offended by transphobia and all this stuff. So he's a clown.
He's been an opportunist. He stands for nothing. He did this with the Intellivision Amico. He called it
he has any kind of grounds, no grounds at all to judge Smash on anything with the Amico, because this guy was on video wearing a Miko hat and swag, a shirt, Amico stuff. He had Tommy Tallarico on his own channel, and he had to make an apology to his audience saying, I'm sorry, I wasn't hard enough on Tommy. Oh, no. Smash never had to apologize to his audience for not being hard on Tommy. Smash was keeping it real with who he was at the time. And then when he decided to change his opinion, he came out and was real about that. It's everybody else that's the problem except you. You literally had to apologize and look like an idiot after having swag. You got called out by like Pat the NES punk for having all of your swag and stuff. If there was anybody that was a big shill, it was you. It was you. It's like nobody else could change their opinion or change any kind of like thoughts that they've had on something, whether it was months ago, years ago. It's not like you really expect, since this thing hasn't come out with the Amico. I don't know why people fixate on the Amico, but the Amico was supposed to come out like 8 years ago. You don't think that somebody can't be like, you know what? Fuck the Amico. I thought it was cool at the time. I was hamming it up with Tommy Tallarico, but he fucking lied to all of us, so fuck him. You don't think that it's not normal for a human being to change their stance on something? Or somebody could be left leaning years ago and then suddenly be like, you know what? The left doesn't care about us. Let me go right. Like, Review Tech only deals in absolutes, and he'll hold stuff against people for so long because he has no way of being like anything but a snowflake. Like, he doesn't know how to switch stances or look at stuff subjectively and make an opinion based on his true feelings, because he's so afraid of being canceled. Newsflash, buddy, you've already been canceled. You had to delete your channel. Your current channel is going through trial and tribulation because you're losing subs and you're getting all this fucking other stuff that YouTube's giving you a roundabout because you have weird sexual songs and stuff. Anyways.
Scam at first. Tommy took him on a ride in his Ferrari. Magically, all of a sudden, he's an Amico believer. He just did the same.
This is coming from the guy that had swag on.
Thing with side scrollers, where he was saying, what is Craig smoking with the Real Game Awards? Real. Congratulations on your award, by the way.
Thank you.
You know, deep down she's smiling, but her being voted worst games journalist is hurting her. She even admitted in this whole interview that she's sensitive. She stalks everybody's social medias, but we're focusing on Rich right now. This guy stalks everybody's stuff too, and he is still livid about side scrollers essentially punking him out. And he did a crash out on their stream where he was virtue signaling and grandstanding for something that Melanie Mack said about a church being burnt down. And he was attacking a gay guy, actually, that was on side scrollers. If you guys want to look up those clips, they're on there. But he essentially self-imploded over no reason at all. And he's still salty about side scrollers at this point.
I wasn't offered a chance to give an acceptance speech, but hopefully I will in the future.
She wouldn't do it.
Yeah, you should just go there and say, go fuck yourselves. Yeah, I'm not a fan of them either, and they're not fans of me. In the beginning, he said that, so what is Stuttering Craig smoking? All of a sudden, he has an opportunity to go on their podcast and be part of the...
That's called people having a conversation, by the way. Smash made a video criticizing the Real Game Awards, essentially calling it a grift. Him and Stuttering Craig had a conversation, something that all three of these people don't know how to do. David Jaffe's just too far gone. Again, failed father, in my opinion. Promotes mental illness to children. Has weird woke takes, in my opinion. All my opinion, of course. And you could pearl clutch over that all you want. This guy literally says weird shit. They're talking about people sexually harassing Alyssa Mercante at one point, and then this guy literally starts sexually harassing her in the middle of it. If you want to watch the whole Cringe interview. Alyssa, we all know, blocks, unblocks to attack people, throws veiled threats, challenges people to fight her, writes passive-aggressive tweets, stalks social media. There's no talking with her. Even my sexual harassment with her, I was telling her, please come on so we could have a, meet in the middle and have a conversation. Nope, no balls. And then this guy right here, you do try to get in a conversation with him. He loops around. He circles around the point. He tries to reflect. He tries to mirror the fucking argument against you. He interrupts you. There's no talking. This dude is literally one of the biggest man babies I've seen in my life on the internet. And again, that's why he's lost a lot of support, and he's pandering to these people now.
The Game Awards video gets unlisted, and he's sitting there making it like the Game Awards. I supported them. I was the highest tier. Even his own audience called him out. It is now.
And guess what? Nobody cares about this except Review Tech and his docket team.
Unlisted video. He's just
and the person that's in his ear in his DMs.
It's a hypocrite. He just wanted, if you know his backstory, he just wanted the clout for the sake of clout, and he finally found it with a group, and that's why. And I heard what he said about your kid, David, and I wanted to.
Ooh.
Anyway.
Oh, what he said about his kid. He gave his opinion. His kid is trans. I don't think there's such thing as trans kids. I think that's allowing and enabling grooming towards children. I believe that that is promoting mental illness. Kids have no business transitioning, and you don't have to like that opinion. Again, I'm glad that we're starting to get flags removed. We're going to be one flag up only. Schools might get pride flags taken away because we don't need woke indoctrination influencing kids. Let kids be kids.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah. He's called me a baby killer quite a bit, so.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, multiple abortions. I mean, that's an opinion. People are allowed to say what they want about the internet. This girl literally will call people sexless, chuds, virgins. She'll call them all sorts of names in the book. She'll screenshot stuff they say. She's allowed to be reactionary, but she's against people being reactionary to her. And that's because she can't control the narrative on that. And she'll blame people for things that they have no involvement with. Like she's blaming Smash for her losing her job, even though she said she left. She didn't get laid off. That's what she claims. People can say whatever they want. They can call you a baby killer if they want. That's not against the law.
Oh, I mean, I've done that, but that's different. Fuck them babies, Alyssa. Fucking
David's
disabilities. Cringe. I wanted to finish Elden Ring, goddammit.
Don't even get into that. I'm an Elden Ring crackhead. I played way too much of that fucking game. So yeah, these are all really awful people, including the pants pisser. You know who I'm talking about with that too.
Oh yeah, the pants pisser guys, because I didn't shake my penis enough. See, if ReviewTechUSA didn't have a micro peen, he would have this complication, right? He probably pee sitting down because his gut's too big to pee standing up. So like I was drunk on stream, right? Just like he's possibly high right here because he's slow, he's drawn out. If you watch the Local Tech Talk episode where he was fumbling through his docket, he probably was. I mean, his own audience on Tech Talk now is asking, "Are you high?" When your audience is having to ask, "Are you high?" you might have a problem, even if you're not high, to where you're having to constantly clarify, "Hey guys, I'm not under the influence." No, it's just because he's so slow to process his sentences, and he's boring. That's literally the reason why. He doesn't even have to be high at this point. Now, I'm the pants pisser because I got up to go pee and I didn't shake it enough and I was sitting in my underwear. Meanwhile, this guy somehow manages to be shirtless to the point where even Keemstar is telling him, "Please quit taking off your shirt," on Tech Talk, and they had to raise it to $500. He was shaving his chest. He had to dye his hair a black. Like, he literally thinks people want to see him get his hair on his chest shaved. Oh, but me having a little bit of piss. And if he watched the full stream, I got up and I purposely was like, "Oh, look," and I was dancing. I don't care if people see a pee stain because I didn't shake it enough. Like, who cares? If you think that's embarrassing, you haven't watched anything. I've just danced, did Just Dance in my underwear. I've done all sorts of weird nonsense on my streams. I've danced back here and twerked. I don't care. But rent-free again. Rent-free again. This guy, and then when you clap back, like I'm clapping back now, he thinks, "Oh, well, 8-Bit Eric wants to talk about people, but he'll throw a fit if you talk about him." I've never said don't talk about me, Rich. Please do it, because you sell me books when you do, and you get me Twitter followers. I gain subscribers when you talk about me. Same thing with Mercante. Please continue to talk about me. You guys, these two people have been the best thing for me this past fucking year. Thank you so much. Please do it. Rich, I'm begging you, dude. Rich, please keep talking about me. It's great, especially when you promote my wrestling book.
Great. And
too scared to say my name too.
It just shows how they just don't really care. And the thing is, the group
what do I not really care about? So, what do I really not care about? You're over here stammering and stuttering to try to come up with a point, when all that's really happening is that you're sucking up to one of the worst people on the internet right now. I mean, the common denominator, look at it. Like, do you think, Rich, that this is going to help you? Do you really think that the majority of gamers and people that watch your channel are going to be like, "Oh, he's cool, Mercante"? No. They're not. Your docket team might, because, again, they're weird little wokey LGBTQ people, but they're not going to care. All right? Their docket team, one of their members cried and was like tweeting nonstop to you, "Oh, you need to take 8-Bit Eric's channel down to YouTube," because of an opinion I had about children being transgender or suffering through cancer. Because obviously I was drunk and I was making a joke saying I'd rather have a kid dealing with cancer than dealing with transgender and not knowing if they're a boy or girl. Because at least one thing you can actually use charities like transgender stuff goes through like Trans Lifeline and crap. Like, donate to charities that help people like St. Jude's and stuff. There's actual kids that need help. Okay, it's more important to help kids that have AIDS, that have cancer, that have sicknesses and diseases than a kid that doesn't know they're a boy or a girl. Okay, it's more important to donate to those causes instead of mental illness that is actually more likely groomed upon them. Okay, so cry about that. And that's part of what we say when we give David Jaffe shit for his kids. And that's an opinion at the end of the day. Just like you can have your opinion here and it could be cringe and I can react to it all I want. But you need to realize people are not going to hold the same sentiment towards you. And there's other people that got upset, commentator orbiters that got upset that I dared say that. Oh, Eric just doesn't want to look gay. Guess what? When you say that I'm so anti-gay that I would rather have a kid deal with cancer instead of being trans, you're getting stuff confused anyway. That just shows how little you know, because trans is not the same as gay. All right? Just like lesbian is not the same as gay. Just like bisexual is not the same as gay. Those are all different orientations, which is still all woke indoctrination when kids are involved with it. But if you're a grown adult, I don't give a shit what you do. Okay? If you're a grown adult, I don't care if you're gay, bi, lesbian, transgender, or whatever. I'm still going to give an opinion that I don't want that in my video games. So get over it. And again, at the end of the day, all of these people are sour-faced because of video games. That's what it comes down to. Opinion about video games.
Going after. I heard you mention this before. It's like the 20-something lost souls. And I'm on for you could have an opinion and you shouldn't necessarily be responsible for your audience.
He's not. He's not. I guarantee you if members of Smash's audience or my audience or even Side Squirrel's audience started tweeting at him or her or even David and started sending them stuff like insults or opinions that are against them, he would 100% blame it on us. These people, all three, think that you're responsible for your audience if you're a content creator. And he doesn't believe in people having their own opinions. He doesn't. And neither does she. David, I'll give him a little bit of credit. He probably holds that. But he's still moral grandstands. He still virtue signals. He still acts like he's better than other people. And I'm so heartbroken that this guy helped create God of War. And look how far gone he is.
But at the same time, I know that these are disillusioned young dudes. Their minds are being poisoned, and it's going to ruin them for the rest of their lives.
Disillusioned young dudes. Guys, you know Review Tech is only 3 years younger than me. I mean, older than me. How am I a disillusioned young dude? Smash JT's the same age as Review Tech, give or take. I think I'm the youngest. I'm going to be 41 in July. He's 43, 44, and I believe Smash is 41, 42. How in the hell are me and Smash young guys that are disillusioned? I'm tired of people like Mercante, Jaffe, and Rich seeming to think that because we have an opposing opinion that we're disillusioned. You guys are the disillusioned ones. You guys don't know reality. You guys don't know common sense. But I'm willing to be like, you know what? I agree to disagree. You could think whatever you want, but I'm gonna have a field day talking about it, and you're welcome to have your opinion about me. But to say that somebody's disillusioned seems to come across as you guys thinking that we're not intelligent, that we can't form our own opinion based on experiences, based on our observations. God gave us ears and a nose and a mouth for a reason. Okay, I'm a 40-year-old man, and I'm allowed to give a take that you don't agree with. And it makes me happy that you disagree with it, because it tells me that the truth hurts, honestly. And you can disagree with it, you can agree with it. I don't care. But to try to like invalidate somebody's opinion or criticisms on stuff, to say that we're disillusioned young men when we're in the same age category as you just shows me how, like, I hate to say that you're unintelligent because that's what you're saying about us, but you have no concept or self-awareness. I would say that you show a lack of self-awareness and a lack of discourse. Like, you guys would never have a convo with somebody where you meet in the middle or agree to disagree. You would want it your way or no way, this is proof of it. This is proof of it.
And these guys are cashing in on it, and I'm just sick.
If you think I'm cashing in on shit, you're mistaking. I showed my audience how much I've made the other day, and if you think that I'm cashing in on it, Retech, you're literally on a podcast right now where you're charging people $500 to take your shirt off, and your podcast is based on TTS donos that come in where people could get their little message played on the screen. You guys are all about interrupting conversations to acknowledge super chats. Literally, your podcast, even your real podcast, RTU streams, they're based off of super chats. There's goals for you to stay on longer. You're a bigger e-beggar than any of us. If you're thinking that I'm cashing in on this, you're not paying attention. I literally, like, how is it a grift for me if I lost over 2,000 subscribers in 2022 and several hundreds in 2023, and now I'm just barely climbing back up? I had a 2-year bleed, okay? I didn't even crack half, even a third, even a fourth of what I've ever made at the peak of my career. If anything, I'm making more money less than ever. And my channel was literally dead. And now it's slowly but surely climbing. It's not as consistent or stuff, but it's so weird for this guy to think that just because I have an opposing opinion that I'm grifting and cashing in on it. But then again, this is where these guys don't understand. If it's only a grift because it's what they don't believe in. It's opposite, and we're making money off of it. But that should tell you that if you're able to get a lot of support, a lot of views, a lot of likes, a lot of donos on an opinion that is not yours, then that should tell all three of you dingling jabronis that the majority of people actually believe in what people like myself and Smash are talking about, because they're supporting it more than what you guys are doing, or else you wouldn't be making it about money. It's always about money with you guys.
And we're talking about that on Lolcow Tech Talk tonight.
Yeah. So he made that whole doc. That was him in reference to his whole docket about Smash. That was so cringe. His audience was like, please, Rich, talk about tech. And to where JKB, shout outs to JKB, had to be like, God, Rich, no more of this. No more drama. Like, literally, after that, Jay was like, no more drama on the stream, because that drama fucking fell flat. Literally, his audience did not care that Rich was crying about Smash JT or what Smash said about David Jaffe's kids being trans. Because guess what? Your audience does not care what you had to say, Rich. They just want to laugh at you and make fun of you. Okay? The sooner that you realize that, Jay is your tard wrangler and that you need to just comply and let people laugh at you, the more success you're going to have. And I want all the success for you, buddy. But you're so fixated on rage bait grifters and right-wingers and DSP that you've lost your way. You literally have lost your way. When your audience on your brand new podcast on episode 4 is already begging you to not do drama and not do woke, you essentially just made Lolcow Tech Talk RTU Streams 2.0. You just did it. You forgot that Jay was there. Jay wants to talk about tech. Jay wants to have fun and an engaging show that builds a community. And you and your docket team just wanted to fixate on Smash JT. And it made no fucking sense. Whoever encouraged you to go that way steered you off course. And I'm glad it failed. And I'm glad that you got shown that you have no idea what you're doing. And Jay was able to take the reins back. And then you're going to have David Jaffe on it. So that's going to be another major flavor. You guys are about to get torched. You guys are going to get torched with Jaffe on there. And if you have the Joker on there,
it's important because, and that's something that I'm pitching a story because I don't want to do it on my Patreon because I don't want it to seem like it's a personal vendetta thing.
She has a Patreon, by the way, that she paywalls certain content. I believe she also has her Twitch channel where she puts replays behind a subscription. Suddenly she's making it about not having vendettas and stuff and not paywalling it. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
About the
understood.
about the actual financials behind this, because these people are making a lot of money.
It's always about money with these people. That's why they have a problem with it. It's an opposite opinion and it's money. Guess what? You're allowed to make money if you're creating content. And if you don't agree with the opinion, that's inconsequential. It's not about you, Otis. Nobody came to see you, Otis.
Off of this, and like I said, you know, the how much money they raised for the Real Game Awards versus how much that production must have cost them.
And these retards still haven't realized that Craig said most of the proceeds for this year's Game Awards go towards the next year's. They still don't understand that he said at one point he was looking to actually have a live actual award show using the proceeds from this year's event. They're all retarded. They all are just upset once again because side scrollers had right-leaning stances in a lot of their podcast. That's what they're upset about. If they were woke, they'd be fine. They wouldn't be crying about donations being made.
How much money Mark Kern has raised for a game that we don't know when it's going to come out. How much money these people make in super chats every night, which a lot of the cases, the things that are said in those super chats are horrific.
Oh, she's still crying about the stuff from Saturday Night Hypnosis. Again, these motherfuckers. And watch, in less than 5 minutes ago, this guy said creators are not responsible for the audience, but now he's going to be like, oh, the super chats. Guess what? That's the audience doing it. And now this proof. They will always blame creators for the audience.
Horrifically hateful, transphobic. I mean, there was one where they
and this guy, his little audience at dance will say all sorts of things about people. Myself, Smash, when Jay and Rich weren't on good terms, they were always talking about Jay as well. Do not moral grandstand when your audience on Twitter, on your super chats, Rich, talk about people like DSP, myself, whoever, in a way that you wouldn't want to be talked about. In a way that you wouldn't want to be talked about. And then same with her. If you go to her tweet replies, you go to her Twitch channel, all these people are saying just as ugly stuff. But if it's done about them, that's the end of the world.
They suggested that I needed to be Eiffel Towered between the two of them so that I wouldn't feel this way anymore and be so angry. And that I must flick my bean to the idea of these men. And that
Look at this guy who literally just got punished by YouTube this past week for sexually suggestive stuff is now, oh, wow. Oh, Mercante. Oh, let me pearl clutch for you. And then this guy's a pervert. He's going to start saying weird, perverted stuff here.
I'm wetter than my leaky ceiling over the concept of the man who I am taking to court. And it is disgusting, and they make money off of...
And then this girl who tells people eat her ass and makes weird, suggestive comments. See, the problem is with these people is that they're allowed to say sexually charged stuff, make sexually comments that are borderline incel. But if it's somebody they don't like, which she later admits that, it becomes an issue.
People donating money to be able to have that read out loud, and it's hundreds and hundreds of dollars a stream, and they stream every night.
Tech, please hit me back on what Eiffel Towering is. I don't know.
I think I have
two men. It's two men.
Look, so they proceed to go on about what an Eiffel Tower is, but where are the incels?
Two men, girl in the middle.
Of course, she would most likely know why. She most likely will know what an Eiffel Tower is for a reason, right? Funny, the woman in the podcast is the one describing what an Eiffel Tower is. Just observation.
That's the penis, and that's the penis.
Here's the two. No, they're standing up.
Okay, so penis is coming like this,
and the woman is in here in the middle.
Oh, so she's like this.
She's the middle of the Eiffel Tower in between two dudes.
You see what we used to call that a Mr.
Oh, here we go. Another 8-bit Eric. Here it come. So this guy.
Belding from Saved by the Bell. I understand. I'm sorry.
Did you see when 8-bit Eric was thirsty and like talking really sexual about?
Oh, I was thirsty, even though it was clearly basically just trolling her. She came to my chat talking shit about my parents, talking trash about my opinion. I was talking shit. Again, I stand by, how can I sexually harass somebody if I don't find them sexually attractive? Like, I'm not going to touch you with a 10-foot pole. I look at your butthole, like I said, but I'm not going to touch her with a 10-foot pole.
about you. Like
Yeah.
I could be a crude fucking dude just like Jaffe.
Yeah, you're definitely crude, and you're also weird.
Okay, I'm not
And
knocking
so
that,
can I.
but it's the way it's done. It's
You guys know what a
context
blumpkin is?
It's the way it's done. Meanwhile, this is the guy that cries about locale queens and Becky nearly every day. He calls women bitches, prostitutes. Guess what? She's allegedly not for me, but she allegedly. I think she admits that she was a digital stripper at one point. But brother, like, do you not see the contradictions that you do? And who cares that I trolled her? She came to my chat. It'd be different if I went to her Twitch chat and started saying those sexually suggestive things. She came talking crap to me. So don't act like you're a victim. She could have left. She didn't have to engage in the chat. Okay? Nobody's gooning to her. All right? She literally looks like the Joker.
Yes.
I learned that. I love it. I don't want to do it, but I learned about it.
You were talking to someone who, 2 days into my first job in the games industry, got drunk with a bunch of people at the
cringe story here. 2 days in the gaming industry, guys, and she already gets hammered with people and does this cringe thing right here. Listen to this. Imagine being 2 days into the gaming industry and not even being able to be professional, like to where you make this much of a clown. But I'm weird because I was saying, hey, I'd take you to lunch, Alyssa, and I want to know who hurt you, and I could fix you, and I wouldn't sleep with you. I literally said that. I said I won't sleep with you, but I'd look at your butthole, and somehow I was an incel. Again, get off the moral grandstand, Richard.
At the outlet and told them that I wanted Henry Cavill to hold my head in between his thighs like a vice and shave me bald. And I would say, "Thank you, Daddy." And
yeah,
that shit doesn't bother me.
It's different. And you know why it's different? Because they're all woke. They're all left-leaning. That's the point, is because if it's somebody they don't like, if it's somebody that has an opposing political opinion, that's when it becomes a problem for them. That's the whole point. He don't like me, so how dare I make sexually suggestive jokes towards a woman? Oh my goodness, let me shame him. Nobody cares, Rich. I'm gonna start calling you Ricardo. Nobody cares, Ricardo, except you and your weird little dents and whoever's gassing you up that hates Smash and myself and is trying to push this fucking witch right here. You guys are all stupid.
Listen, if it was consensual and you didn't hate the Jews, I'd fuck the shit out of you. I would.
If it was consensual, you didn't hate the Jews. Okay, so that literally crying about sexual harassment, and he proceeds to sexually harass her, which that was worse than anything I said to Mercante. But again, Pearl Clutch. This guy said mean things about me in the past, and this guy said mean things about me in the past, and this guy has stuff. It's all crybaby nonsense. Cringe pandering. Rich, if you think that oh my gosh, Mercante, how dare they? Like, you're going to lose support by supporting this Joker right here. I'm telling you, this is not going to go good. And I made a Nightmare Blunt Rotation tweet about this. It has almost 600 likes on it. When's the last time Rich had a 600 like tweet? Or Jaffe? Or even, you know what, maybe I'll give Mercante some, because at least her supporters turn out on Twitter. But at the end of the day, they all don't care. This activism that they all promote, nobody cares. The majority of people do not agree or think like these three.
People are going to clip that. You know that I don't.
And they did clip it. Hypnotic clipped it. Shout outs to Hypnotic, by the way.
I know you don't. Come on. But that's the thing. Why can't we have fun? Oh, but yeah, fuck them. Fuck them, because
we can't have fun because of people like you, Jaffe, people like Mercante, and people like Rich.
But I'm being jokey, right?
Yes.
No, I was saying that to.
I'm being jokey, right? Like, this guy's cringe, and clearly, again, like I said, and I stand by what I said when she came to my chat. You came to my domain, you engaged, you were talking crap, you were being hateful, so I'm gonna troll you, and you could have left at any time. And I offered for you to come on live and talk to me.
Richard, not you.
Oh.
Richard,
No,
I'm not really gonna
You're
fuck the
talking
shit.
to me?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't care.
Oh, let's
Dude,
do
you
it.
know-
See, he don't care, but Eric, Rich, when you start focusing on what your audience likes, you're gonna gain your success back, buddy. But you've already halfway ruined Tech Talk with your little drama stuff that they had to stop you from doing. You have zero energy. You're still fixated on things in the past instead of just making yourself better. Making yourself better.
All right,
But
let's go, man.
it takes on a different flavor when those are the same people who
See,
are
this is a minute. It takes on a different flavor when it's people she doesn't like, guys. Listen.
harassing you or calling you a whore or
Yeah, of course
smearing
it
your
does.
name.
Even though she was the one on the giant bomb couch who said, I'm slutty, I'm good at my job. We're just using your words against you. Come on, sister.
Or their chat is full of people who are saying that
Mm-hmm.
you look like a trans man, you look like your father hated you, you're full of aborted babies. Like, it's very different than speaking sexually about someone who you have spoken so disgustingly about. And I can't explain it except
It's because we're right wingers, and she'll allow her chat to say whatever they want about anybody else she doesn't like. When it's done to her, that's when it's a problem. That's when we have to try to deplatform people, because she got 2 of my videos removed. She has tried to take down websites. It's only a problem when it's something that she doesn't like. But all day they could have filled days on everybody else. Isn't that weird how it works out?
it just feels like your skin is crawling with bugs, and it is so
Your skin probably is crawling with bugs anyway. I'm just saying.
uncomfortable because I am someone who very much enjoys sex, very much enjoys being a horny
Yeah, look, very much enjoys sex, very much enjoys being
little shit.
a horny little shit, right? But we're the incels. And she's actually used that, like, guys, I have lots of sex, lots of great sex, and these guys are all against me. And like, why does she use sex? Okay, it always comes back to sex with her. Isn't that weird? But she'll be the first one to be offended if somebody calls her a sex worker or a prostitute or a cam girl, or that, she said it herself that she sucked dick to get in the industry. But anybody else says it, it's a problem if she doesn't like you. Chicken shit behavior.
But
yeah, I mean, yeah,
the hate mixed with the
But
horniness
again-
is a specific level of
And nobody's really horny for you, Alyssa. I made those jokes, but nobody's really horny for you. It's for the lulz. It's for the lulz. Nobody.
gross for me. It really
I
feels
think you
bad.
you and Alana are threats because you happen to be
No, they're not threats. They're both clowns.
attractive humans, right? And that's not
What is-
no.
what
Don't
is
say.
the story?
Wait a minute. Don't say things. I'm not. That's the worst part of our society. I'm making a blanket statement about just empirically speaking.
And both of these guys would simp for Mercante in a heartbeat, by the way. They want to try to shame people because threats are attractive and blah, blah, like all this nonsense. This dude, if he wants to call me obsessed over Mercante, this dude is still in his feelings over Melanie Mack. Like, absurdly. And this dude is in his feelings over Vara Dark. So are Melanie and Vera threats to you? Or is that excuse only for rage bait grifters? Please answer that.
You have nice symmetry, blah blah blah. You take care of yourself. Alana as well. Right? No one's coming on to you, whatever. But
I didn't think
that bothers them so much.
Nope.
If you guys were real,
See, this is projection here. The reason why, how this guy not even a month or 2 ago was being sexist towards Vera Dark. You guys remember that? He literally said the only reason why she has an audience is because of how she looks. And now you're using that same argument against us, against anybody that criticizes Mercante. That's weird. You have no self-awareness.
really unattractive people like Rich and I here. No offense, Rich. Come on. You got to own the DeVito, baby. That's us. That's what we got. That's the bag of hammers. But if that was the case, Alyssa, I don't think you guys would be getting half the press you are. And that's so, they don't even read.
Again, no self-awareness. Jaffe's so weird. Rich, if you're watching this, he's going to ruin your podcast when he comes on. That's going to be disliked to high hell. You might lose subscribers. And Jay, I feel, please control this guy. Please control him. Nobody wants drama talk. Nobody wants woke talk on your show. That's not what your audience was wanting the other day. That my audience wants it. My audience likes me to call it out, but that's me leaning to the audience. But nobody is going to support Jaffe is my point. Like, you can have anti-woke or whatever because the majority of people agree with that. But the majority of people, if you look at Jaffe's streams and his videos or hers, they're getting ratioed. They're getting dislike bombed. You're asking for a world of hurt on your channel. Being involved with these two, Rich, I'm just telling you right now.
Realize
And
that.
I think that's why I became their worst nightmare, because they found out that I did cam work for like a week and they were like,
oh, I don't know if she's talking about me, but you're not my worst nightmare, sister. I have plenty of friends that were cam girls. I have plenty of friends that have OnlyFans. I have plenty of friends that were sex workers at some point. That doesn't bug me. That does not bug me at all. All right. I don't care about that. You're not me giving you criticism on the things that you say that are stupid or bad takes or stuff that just is fair game, because guess what? I can have an opinion against you all I want does not mean you're a threat. It just means that I'm using my opinion, which is my right. I literally, you could literally say, Eric, the sky's blue, and I could say it's red just because I have that right. I don't understand how you guys don't understand how the real world works when it comes to people's platforms, when it comes to opinion, criticism. I could critique the way that your makeup looks. I could critique your hair. I could critique ReviewTech's black dye. I could critique Jaffe's yellow thing. He looks like a Twinkie. I could critique and create content on anything that you guys say or do, and vice versa. But the problem is that you guys take it into weird personal territories about these weird things that they're threats and that we're projecting and all this crap, and then you go and get your dents to try to dox. She has dents that dox people like Smash on Twitter. He's had dents and literally went into his Discord asking for dirt on me and even Jay at one point. And this guy is weird against Very Dark. Like, you guys take it to a next level. I'm just milking the content.
oh wait, so not only is she hot and ripped and she likes to have and sex positive, but she also
she sounds so delusional. That's so delusional.
Made money off of that, and not for me. I can't.
Okay, so again, the money talk. Good on you for making money. Okay? Just don't cry when we make money.
Buy it.
They're also salty too because they're like, oh, I can't have.
Dude, you guys can't tell me he's not drunk or high off his fucking gourd. Like, look how slow he says that.
Can't buy it.
They're also salty too because they're like, oh, I can't have her, and then they go into like this.
It is really.
Is that why you're salty on Melanie Mac, Rich? Please answer.
Really interesting that these men hate me so much, but they continuously focus on talking about me sexually or taking pictures of me where I am in very limited garb and making that.
We're not taking the pictures of you. You have the pictures posted.
The thumbnails on their pictures, so it's very interesting. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychologist.
Okay, so I'm gonna start taking photos of her looking ugly for my thumbs. I bet you they'll get more views. But isn't it weird that they're making about how we're salty about women when this dude literally will like shake and cry angrily over Melanie Mac? And if we defend her, she's not gonna sleep with you. She's not having sex because it's all about sex with him. Well, guess what? Well, I'm not gonna say Mercante wouldn't have sex with you, but you know. Anyways, let's go on.
But it's very interesting.
Richard, I love you and I want to have you on all the time. And I'd love to come on your show, but I do got to move on. Is there something specific you wanted to chat with Miss Alyssa about?
Wow, and they're already kicking him out. Even Jaffe sees Rich as cringe.
Interesting thing, you don't have to respond to a man named Jeff. When he had his video about being sued, one thing that just shows you how hypocritical it was, he was mocking you for not being able to afford to fix a leak in your roof, but literally almost in the same breath, I have a sound clip of my soundboard where he says, I need money. I just do. That's just. Smash
said he needed the money for the lawsuit in regards to that, by the way. Use the proper context, dickers.
Jeff. That's Jeff. Anyway, thank you for having me on. Alyssa, it was great talking to you.
Don't
David.
forget Richard's new show tonight, right? That's coming on Loud Cow. Is coming on what time?
It's on at 8, actually in about 40 minutes, 8 p.m.
Right.
Eastern Daylight Time. And we're going to be roasting the shit out of Alyssa's favorite person. So make sure to tune in.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Always good.
Rent free. Like that whole episode was supposed to be about Smash, guys. That whole episode was supposed to be about Smash, and it flopped. Okay, people did not like that it was about drama. They didn't want him putting his woke bull crap there. Like, oh, this guy's saying things about trans people and blah blah blah. It was horrendous, and I put a banger tweet out. If you guys want to go and check it out, I said I gave Local Tech Talk a shot, but RTU is a total flop. Zero energy, zero personality, and awkwardly fumbling through a docket of petty drama about Smash JT. The chat kept begging for Tech Talk because no one cared about him crying over grifters, and guess what? The majority of gamers don't. Nobody tunes into a tech show to hear a middle-aged guy whine about someone being mean about trans people, which is facts, right? Read the room. Jay Hoop was the only saving grace, trolling Rich, interrupting him, having good energy, and even admitting the story sucked. All facts. All facts. In fact, if you guys watched this episode, it was the 4th one, I think. Dude, they literally had to scratch the docket because nobody in the chat cared. I don't have the timestamps, but it was great. Jay was like, this story sucks. Nobody cares about Smash JT. Nobody cares about grifters. Why sit here and cry about these guys that do this stuff? Like, it was hilarious. Hilarious. And this guy was fumbling. Every time the dono went off, every time a super chat came in, Jay would interrupt it, read the dono, and then this guy would lose his fucking train of thought, which again, if he's not under the influence of something, then he's just slow. I can't tell you, but nobody cared. Nobody cared. To continue my tweet, said the real RTU and his docket team already tried to turn a tech podcast into a woke pity party, crying about right-wingers. Read the room, Rich. Whoever coached you to go after Smash steered you way off course. The only thing worth watching last night was Jay dunking on him live, which is facts. Okay? That was their worst episode, and it was the one, conveniently, that Rich was in charge of, that had access to OBS, sound issues, issues with every caller that would come in. The docket team actually made this docket full of, like, crying about grifters. Again, I know one of their docket team members is one of these weirdos that gets offended when you talk about trans people and all this crap. Imagine, transphobia. Like, shut the fuck up. All right? Shut up. Nobody wants this. Read the room, Rich. You know, again, I think Rich is focused on the wrong things, and this is just my opinion. And he could use this for content, whatever, be reactionary. He's literally pandering to Alyssa Mercante at this point. That's not going to go well for you. Okay? That tweet that I gave the other day, and I'll show you right here, when it initially happened, I mean, between my tweet and Smash's tweet, I want you guys to see just how many people are like, wow. Wow. So here we go. Here's Smash's tweet. He says, when you're losing and you see other people winning, it's always about the money, which isn't that came up like, what, 3 times during the segment? I'll be roasting these pocket watching hypocritical losers tonight. Get hyped. And look, 1.6K likes. Now, Dickers responded to this. Oh, well, come on the show. This is that. Like, no, dude, you don't go into the sewers. All right. Nobody's going into the sewers for you. Nobody's going on your shows to debate you in your little protected safe space. And nobody's having you on except Jaffe and Mercante and whoever else is a total unself-aware loser that has no concept of what people want. All right. You literally embarrass yourself getting on here. This is going to backfire. It's going to bite him in the butt. And right here, I said nightmare blunt rotation, almost 600 fucking likes. People just tearing it up. Embarrassing, says Toasty. Worst wet t-shirt contest ever. Look, even AI knows how cringe it was. These guys got freaking torn up. Nightmare blunt rotation. And I said, ReviewTechUSA has fallen so hard. He's pandering to the worst gaming journalist as voted by the Real Game Awards, and that still got nearly 300 likes. Okay? Nearly 300 likes. He's clinging. He's clinging. I know he made a few clapbacks and stuff like this, but look, you're in the minority if you think that rage bait grifters are the problem and that crying about them is going to make your content blow up or help your new podcast. If anything, you're going to lose viewers on it. So, Rich, if you got here by the time I know you're watching this live and you're reacting to it, hi. Come on my show. Nobody's going into the sewers. All right. Nobody's going into the sewers. Have good luck with Jaffe on next Friday. Really. Keep crying on the internet and have a good day. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching.